Hello, this is Michael Mantooth. This is my Doane University General Chemistry 1, Chem 125, Interactive Advanced Concept Presentation number 6, otherwise known as Pasta Rocket. And basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be creating the bottom of a rocket coming up out of a mason jar using some yeast, hydrogen peroxide, a mason jar with a hole in the top, and then some pasta. So basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some hydrogen peroxide to this mason jar, and then I'm going to be adding to that hydrogen peroxide some yeast. And basically the hydrogen peroxide, or H2O2, is going to interact and mix with the yeast, and whenever that occurs, the yeast is going to basically take an oxygen away from the H2O2 hydrogen peroxide, and we're going to be left with water and oxygen that's going to be expanding very fast, and that expansion is going to cause the pressure to build up, and the gas is going to want to find an escape, so it's going to come through this hole up here. And the oxygen is very flammable, and it'll be high pressure kind of coming out. So if we put this noodle on top and I light it, the ZD noodle will be the solid fuel source for the fire, and then the oxygen that's coming through is the oxidizer, and we'll basically create like this rocket effect coming up out, and hopefully it'll work pretty well. It's my first try, so let's see. Okay. These are new mason jars. They smell pretty interesting. This is hydrogen peroxide too. Okay. I don't want to add too much. In the instruction video in the module, has like maybe a fourth of the bottom filled. I don't want to go too much because I don't want it to come up to the top and mess up our reaction. Okay, so now let me get some yeast. Okay, I'm going to carefully add a little bit of yeast. Okay, and then I'm going to put this lid on, and then whenever I shake it, the reaction should start to occur. So they'll be mixing, and then I can put this pasta on top. And then if I light, let me make sure you can see, if I light the pasta, should hopefully start getting that oxygen coming up. There we go. Starting a little bit. You can barely see it. It's a very small flame. I think if I added more yeast and hydrogen peroxide, the reaction would probably occur more. You can see a little bit of that flame. Let me see if I can shake this one. There we go. It's a little bit more. This ZD pasta is really used up though. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't over the hole fully, but you can see that the oxygen from the reaction between the hydrogen peroxide and the yeast coming up for a quick second. It was very fast because it took me a second to really get that going, and the ZD pasta had already most of it had already combusted, but you could saw for a little bit that the oxygen was really being forced up through that hole but the oxygen was being forced through that hole through the middle of the ziti pasta, which was on fire because it is the solid fuel source, and the gas that was escaping out of the jar is very flammable and was catching on fire and basically creating a rocket for a quick second. I think I could have, I was very careful because I didn't want to go overboard. I could have shaken it a little bit more and also possibly added some more yeast to the hydrogen peroxide just to make it work a little bit faster. But I would say overall this experiment was a success. Maybe not the very first second, but that second time, the second time that I stirred it, I definitely got a little bit of that rocket reaction as more of the reaction was taking place down between the yeast and the hydrogen peroxide. So I appreciate you watching my interactive lesson, and thank you very much. Bye.